The gale screams against the granite face, a relentless howling wall of wind that tears at the summit. It carries the weight of 1,000 storms, battering the stone, scouring the ridges, and demanding a response. Yet, the mountain does not lean into the wind. It does not brace, nor does it shift its weight to counter the pressure. It stands as it has stood for eons, unmoved by the chaos that surges across its surface. The wind tears at the loose shale, sending debris spiraling into the abyss, but the core remains absolute. The mountain does not argue with the gale. It does not justify its height to the clouds, nor does it offer an explanation. Watch the way the wind exhausts itself against the unyielding rock. It dissipates, losing its fury, while the mountain remains. This is the posture of true sovereignty. To exist in such a state is to be beyond the reach of external turbulence. The danger begins the moment you feel the pulse quicken. Someone speaks, a barb is thrown, and the instinct to correct them rises like a tide. You feel the need to explain, to clarify, to set the record straight. You open your mouth to defend your character. Stop. In that singular motion, you have already lost the ground you stand on. By offering a defense, you acknowledge their right to challenge you. You grant them the role of judge, and yourself the role of the accused. You have invited them into your fortress and handed them the keys. Every word you speak in your own defense is a brick removed from your own wall. You are no longer the mountain. You are the dust caught in the wind. The attacker waits for this. They feed on the energy of your rebuttal, for your reaction is the validation they crave. They want you to argue, to justify, to plead your case, because as long as you are defending, you are beneath them. You have surrendered your sovereignty. To remain silent is to deny them that power entirely. When you refuse to defend your character, you leave them standing in the void. You are the architect of your own silence. Look closer at the one who hurls the barb. When they speak, they are not describing you. They are mapping the geography of their own internal discord. Their words are a window into their own failures, their own fears, and the unresolved friction of their own lives. They are a man, adrift at sea, casting their own shadows upon your path because they have no light of their own to hold. When you hear an insult, do not look at yourself. Look at them. Observe the tremor in their voice, the frantic pace of their accusations, and the desperate need for a target to anchor their own instability. They are projecting their own chaos onto the nearest surface. You do not have to accept the weight. See the insult for what it is, a confession of their own lack of peace. You remain the silent witness. When the world seeks to provoke, do not meet the fire with fuel. Do not offer the oxygen of your attention to the flames. Instead, visualize the deep ocean. On the surface, the water is a violent mess of whitecaps and crashing waves. It churns with the energy of the gale, tossing debris and foam into the air. This is the realm of the attacker. But beneath that surface, miles down, there is a vast, heavy silence. The currents there do not rush. The pressure is constant, unyielding, and absolute. This is where you reside. When the shouting starts, do not stay at the surface. Sink. Drop your awareness down into the dark, quiet depths of your own being. Let the noise of the world remain above you, a distant, muffled vibration that cannot reach the stillness of the abyss. You are the ocean, not the wave. While the surface is torn by the storm, the deep remains unmoved, anchored by its own immense weight. The fortress of your mind requires a physical foundation. When the world escalates, the first sign of a breach is not in your thoughts, but in your body. Notice the jaw. It is clenched, locked tight against the intrusion of the moment. That tension is a signal. It is the mark of a mind that has not yet mastered itself, a mind that is reacting rather than choosing. You must dismantle that reaction before it takes root. Relax the jaw. Let the muscles soften, releasing the grip you have tightened in defense. Now, focus on the breath. It is the anchor of the soul, the tether that keeps you from drifting into the current of their chaos. Take a slow, deliberate inhale. Feel the air fill the lungs, steady and rhythmic, ignoring the frantic pace of the environment around you. Exhale with intention. Every breath is a declaration of your sovereignty. When you hold tension in your shoulders or your hands, you are handing the keys to your fortress. Stop. Drop the shoulders. Unclench the teeth. By mastering the physical response, you deny them the power to move you. You are building a wall of stillness. When they escalate, stop viewing the noise as an attack. Shift your perspective. Look at the one who shouts, the one who gestures, the one who seeks to provoke. Do not see a threat. See a drowning man. Observe the frantic thrashing of his limbs. He is fighting the water. He is gasping for air, and he is terrified of his own descent. Every insult he hurls is just another splash of water, a desperate attempt to stay afloat in a sea of his own making. He is not attacking you. He is flailing in the grip of his own internal discord. He is a man adrift, casting his own shadows upon your path because he has nowhere else to place them. When you recognize this, the nature of the confrontation changes instantly. You are no longer a participant in his struggle. You are a witness to his exhaustion. Let him burn his energy. Let him exhaust his own spirit in the futile effort to drag you down. Watch the red in his face, the tremor in his hands, and the erratic pace of his speech. It is the spectacle of a mind losing its footing. By identifying his aggression as a symptom of his own drowning, you strip him of his power. You remain on the shore, dry and steady. You do not fear the drowning man. You simply watch him until he tires. The shouting has reached its peak and now begins to falter. The attacker stands before you, breath ragged, chest heaving with the effort of his own rage. He waits for a reaction, a spark to keep his fire burning. Do not give it to him. Maintain the silence. Let the air between you grow heavy and cold. This is the moment where your restraint becomes a physical weight. When you finally decide to speak, do not raise your voice. Do not match his intensity. Keep your tone flat, stripped of all color and urgency. Your words must be few, sharp, and final, like the last light of a setting sun before the dark takes hold. Look directly at him, not with anger, but with the hollow clarity of a mirror. Ask him a single question. Are you finished? Do not wait for a coherent answer. Do not listen for a justification. The question is a period at the end of a sentence he no longer has the right to write. As soon as the words leave your lips, turn away. Do not look back to see his reaction. Do not check if he is still standing there. Your movement must be deliberate and absolute. By turning your back, you close the door on the confrontation. You leave him alone with his own echoes. You are the architect of your own silence. The space behind you is now empty of the conflict. You have walked away, leaving the noise to dissipate in the wake of your departure. Now, turn your focus inward. Recognize the territory you occupy. Your mind is your own fortress, a structure built of stone and silence, designed to withstand the siege of external opinion. It is not a public square where every passerby may leave their mark. It is a private sanctuary. Consider the keys to this gate. You have held them your entire life, yet you have often handed them to those who did not earn the right to enter. You allowed the judgment of others to dictate the temperature of your thoughts. That ends now. Respect is not a default setting. It is a hard-won entry fee. If a person has not demonstrated the capacity for wisdom, if they have not shown the discipline to master their own impulses, they have no claim to your inner sanctum. Do not grant them access. Do not allow their opinions to cross the threshold of your consciousness. When they attempt to knock, keep the gates barred. You decide who is worthy of your attention and who remains outside the walls. You are the architect of your own internal order, and your peace is the only thing that truly belongs to you. Now, move beyond the walls of the fortress. Become the ghost in the machine. A ghost does not interact with the gears of the world. It passes through them, leaving no trace and taking no damage. The world will continue to scream, to grind its teeth, and to demand your participation in its chaos. Let it. The noise is merely atmospheric pressure, a vibration in the air that holds no power over your internal state. You are entirely free. When you no longer seek validation, you are no longer a target. When you no longer fear the judgment of the crowd, you are no longer a slave. Watch the world as if from a great distance, where the frantic movements of others appear as nothing more than ripples on a pond. You are the stillness beneath those ripples. You are the silence that remains when the shouting stops. Every attempt to provoke you is now just a distant echo. You are untouched. You are unbothered. You are the master of your own silence. The machine of the world may keep spinning, but you are no longer a cog within it. You are the observer, the architect. Walk through the noise with the steady pace of the mountain. You are a sovereign entity in a state of total, quiet liberation. The world is loud, but your silence is infinite. It is yours to keep, yours to protect, and yours to inhabit forever.